Peoples of the universe, please attend carefully. The message that follows is vital to the future of you all.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Vital to the future of you all. I do not know what you do in the days in between I am live. I guess you catch my videos, obviously, right? Because I know you all set adrift. In Judaism, we read from the Torah scroll every Sabbath, obviously, and every Monday and Thursday. So that way, we're not too distant from it. I feel the same to you. Faithful viewer. Thank you for joining me tonight. We have a wacky show packed for you of fun and frolics. We have a bit of a origin story going on tonight. You know, the origin story is always fun, although often they're a bit shit. Although I'm enjoying the Strange in the World, which is very much an origin story for this episode for Uhura, and also from Spock, actually, to a great extent. And I think it's pretty good. I love tonight's episode. Freaking love this one. I think knocked out the park. But I've drunk from the Kool-Aid. I do like it. Anyway, bit of an origin story tonight because I got probably my oldest friend. I mean, we grew up next to each other, right? And we went to the same schools. And we went through adolescence together. We're pretty much, I can't think. I know. Anyway, so interestingly enough, we've had a weirdly parallel life experience, right? But now we find ourselves in different realities. Now, from my perspective, he lives in the upside down. So I'm fascinated, right? I love hear from people outside my sphere, right? Because I like understanding why people, because everybody's rational to themselves, right? I'm rational every time, marginally speaking. Everyone's rational to themselves to a certain extent. Everybody has like a rationale, right? It's just like, really? What? What part of like the apocalypse do you think we're not in? What? So if you're new to my channel, let me catch you up, right? Let me catch you up. When the Trumpster first appeared on the scene, I thought, this is going to be hilarious, right? This is going to be off the chart. Oh my God. And it was. I mean, look, firstly, I miss him being around. He was just funny. It's just all the screaming. Oh my God. I thought the screaming would have gone away, but now the screaming has been replaced by people actually screaming as they're bursting into flames, right? It's but anyway, I thought it would be funny. Since then, I've come to believe that he is the Messiah of the nation of Edom, right? I really believe he is, right? So Edom was Jacob's brother, Esau, right? Basically, it's the good and bad of Edom. So the bad are the naughty National Socialists from Germany in the 1930s. They're a good example of the bad ones, right? They're called Amalek. But I think he's on the good side, right? I think what's the good of Edom look like? Country western, Trump. Now, the reason I think people hate Trump, one of the reasons, many reasons, right? Many reasons, some of them I pretty hear and legitimate, is because it's a class thing. He's very uncouth, right? He's very, very, very low class. He is. I mean, I loved it when he brought McDonald's in for that dinner, right? I thought, oh, you know what? That's probably what they would like much more, right? And but it's such a breaking of protocol and poshness, right? So I'm intrigued because me and my mate, we both grew up in the 70s, right? So we both I have this affiliation for anti-authoritarianism, right? So that's something that really appealed to me. And then he was insanely successful. I mean, even with the screaming and the noise, no can stop. It's the end of the world. It's the end. No, we were rich. We had money and world peace. Do you remember that? That was good. We had money and world peace. Both of those things, the money, okay, the money Sure, I understand that we all thought not having less money would suck, and it does. Oh, it does, right? We all understand that. But you don't know you had world peace until you don't have it. And like, okay. So for me, Trump always seemed a very archetypal messianic figure, right? Because it's something that the forces of evil, the ethereal forces of evil in the world wouldn't check, right? Something that the Satan wouldn't be, that Satan wouldn't be that nervous about. They are like Donald Trump and then got to go and rep, no, right? But then if you look at what a messianic line looks like in like the Davidic line, that's exactly what happens. It cloaks itself, right? King David's father, was it mother? I think line anyway came from Moab, and the Moab means from my father. It was I am a product of incest, right? That was the guy's name, and that was the nation's name. They were a bit of a dirty people, right? That's just who they are, right? Oftentimes you see things like that happen. If you look in, I also think he's a later incarnation, a current incarnation of a character called Achashverosh, who I think has many similarities, who was a bad guy, right? Who was totally a bad guy. But I think he was the God's unlikely candidate, right? To move morality back towards a Judeo-Christian morality in a balanced way that we all live with. But the trouble is, the days of us all of live and let live have really gone. And from my perspective, I don't think it's from I think using the terms right and left are very outmoded, right? I think they're very, very outmoded. But establishment, authoritarianism, I don't know how to say it. Universally, right? Where I find people differ is in their information, right? What information do you believe? What do you not? Right. And that universally, I think that's what, because whenever you have these conversations, I might be completely wrong. Right. I like to come in completely unprepared. But I was planning. I did think, I'm going to look up things and get it ready. I'm like, no, don't be a dick. Don't be a dick. Okay. Which I have a propensity to be a dick, but it's okay. So does he. So I've hopefully not being too dickish. But yeah. So I'm really intrigued, because it's the other side. I have a neighbor who lives in that universe, but I don't want to get. I can't really talk to them about it because they're fragile. Because I'm like, the world's on fire because everything you thought was wrong. Did you notice? We had misery with Obama, then just insane prosperity and world peace. I mean, can I restate that world peace? See, so the reason I end up having his back totally was because of this guy. Was it Rabbi? I can't remember his name. Dead now, died from COVID. Poor guy. Rabushkin, right? He got really screwed over in this anti-Semitic, really purely anti-Semitic court case from the very authoritarian government from about 15 years ago. So Trump was the one who pardoned him. So I would always have his back for that. Then he moved the embassy to Jerusalem, and it was, for me, I try and plug in what would the Bible look like in reality. And to me, it looked like what Esau and Yaakov, the two sons of Esau and Jacob, the two sons of Isaac, were supposed to do, right? You're supposed to have him protecting Israel in the UN, I think, was a fulfillment of that, of Esau protecting Jacob, right? And it was there's a lot of other that's the other thing. Then I seg into my weird, crazy religion that I genuinely think we're at the end of days. I mean, yes, I think that if you lived in Egypt at the time of the 10 plagues, it would look like this. I think we're at the end. Why? I don't know. We got little girls cutting their tits off and boys chemically castrating themselves. And it's okay. I don't think it's okay. Black is white, up is down, dogs are living with cats. Everything is fucking weird, mate. Okay? Here's my choice. I had a choice. I had enough time to watch the Orville or Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Now, the Orville, up until last episode, last 3 episodes, has only ever done good for us, right? They ignored politics. They were nice. They just gave us a nice place to hang out and get a nice next-gen-y vibe Star Trek-y thing. And they threw in a few laughs. It was good. It was fun, right? 42 minutes, boom, bam, in. Relaxing, yes. And one of the things relaxing about it was it fit into that old school TNG, a next generation template, right? Oh, right, yeah, it really did, including being a bit crap in a way. And then we got Kurtzman Star Trek, who has only ever fucked us in the ass. I mean, really. I mean, like, and with a bar penis. There's only been evil and filth come from the Kurtzman Trek, right? There's nothing been good, right? I take it back. I like the Rainn Wilson Harry Mudd, but that's just me for you. And people revile me for it, and rightly fucking so. Let me tell you, rightly so. But I liked him. What can I tell you? I can only tell you the truth. But then Michael, Michael Burnham is freaking insane, right? Do you remember the start of, what was it, season 3? It was the one which is coming out being a time-traveling Iron Man costume that only she could use after, like, the bad guy shit split out into a billion ships. Like, da-da-da! Oh, and when the AI and nothing makes sense, and this is Spock, and it's all shit! Right? And then she fell through a time hole into the future, and she lands in a Iron Man costume, which stops working because, I don't know, reasons, right? So then, on set, this is what happened. The director on set, on location, in Iceland, right? When they had a bit of money. On location, the director says, okay, can you give me a huge reaction? She was like, what kind? Just give me a few. And she goes, okay. And she goes, yeah, does a few different ones. And then in the edit, they use all of them to make her look fucking insane. And ever since then, it's been her weird delusional worldview. Like, she's actually in a straitjacket in a padded cell. And again, rightly so. She's out of line. Have you not noticed how everything revolves around her? Like, everything. She is the center. Oh, she is the secret of everything. No! It's insane. Now, they're doing something Mary Sue-ish a little bit with her in Strange New Worlds, but they actually reference it. And it's that makes it funny. That actually makes it a character trait rather than an idiot trope. And then we had Picard. It's like, and that gave us over 2 seasons 1 episode that vaguely looked like Star Trek, just to tickle our balls. It was evil. So, who would have thought I had the choice of one or the other to watch? And I went for the Strange New Worlds, and it was awesome. It was awesome. I saw Orville was an hour and 15 minutes. I was like, oh, no! God, an hour and 15 minutes. Leave me alone. Oh, God, he's going to lecture me. It's about the kid that was a boy that is a girl. Oh, God. Oh, God. I used to be all our, if a person's pee-pee or choo-choo, right? They were all, subject. Well, you can do what you want with it because with the consenting adults in your bedroom privately. Nobody gave a shit. It was all fine. No, now I got waggle my dick in your face, and if you don't, you're a bigot. Wait a minute. I don't want you to waggle a dick in my. I don't want to be a bigot either. No, those aren't the options. We're gonna have non-dick wagglage and not bigotry. We're gonna have 2 things at once, right? It's very, very important to me. Very important. Anyway, these are the things. So, but where'd you start? I don't know. I guess we bumped into each other because I saw he had a very pro-abortion stance. I was like, well, that's interesting, right? That's interesting. And I'm intrigued to hear what his worldview is because I bet it's diametrically opposed to me and I'm not even talking about philosophically. I think our view of the facts of reality are diametrically opposed, right? Diametrically opposed. Although maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, we will be doing that. We will be doing that shortly. We are going to be doing the review of Strange New Worlds. I'm doing the review of the Orville. I saw the first 5 minutes, and it's actually quite good. Actually, eat my words. It looked beautiful, right? It looked stunning. It was kind of like an Indiana Jonesy opening. I'm intrigued to see more. I'll be watching it after the show. I do not know what I'm going to be eating for dinner. whatever I can find, I can shove into an air fryer, right? If you just find something in the freezer, you put it in an air fryer, you wait 10 minutes, you have dinner. It's incredible, right? I don't know why they don't make ovens like air fryers. Air fryers do everything. Like, just make everything like that. I'm very, very confused. Very confused. Anyway, so got that going on. We got some Doctor Who stuff. Oh yeah, we've got a few Doctor Who things to look about. I want to go and look at Bigfoot. By the way, here we just share the screen. Do you like my reimagined Mavellan? Now let me tell you, I wanted to keep the disco chic, right? The disco, and I may also have to admit, and not only did I Photoshop on the Mavellan hair, but I may have given her a boob window. Now, why would I give her a boob window? Because I love you, okay? Because I love you all. I am grateful and humbled that you come to me. Hopefully not come to me. That would be a bit too intimate, right? But again, in your own bedroom, whatever you want, I guess. Really, I should be an OnlyFans if you're doing that, I guess. Well, I think this is something that confused me, right? My daughter on Shabbat last week, hanging out, and she said, I know people who make a lot of money. I heard some people on TikTok. They say they make 60 grand a month selling pictures of their feet on OnlyFans. I mean, really? That's weird. And you don't think the apocalypse is here? No, I do. Right? I do. I do think the apocalypse is here. Mainly for that reason. Here, let me quickly show you what we've got coming up. I'm going to say hello to a few people. Then we're going to bring my guest on. I've gone on too long. But yeah, let me show you what we've got coming. I think we're going to drop this one tomorrow, right? Tomorrow. The weird desperation for Yasmin Finney to be Shooty Gatwa's companion in the new Doctor Who. They really, really, really want Yasmin Finney to be the new companion. She was filmed for 3 days, right? It's probably, I doubt for many reasons that this person will be the companion. I think they'll do a fine job in the episode they're in, and I think everything is about bringing in a new audience. Everything is about undoing damage and making it huge. That Shooty Gatwa's casting, David Tennant. Everything's about bringing in a new audience. You can have the old audience and people who watch Heartbreakers, right? People who watch Sex Education. They go, oh, check that out, right? And why not? And they get them for 3 minutes. As long as they entertain people, they're there, right? There's Uncle Wiles out there. Can you imagine? Go back and watch Good Doctor Who, right? Go back and watch Good Doctor Who from a few years ago, right? And Capaldi before. Actually, good Doctor Who. It doesn't compare to anything that's on TV, right? It's joyous, it's fun, it's uplifting, it's wonderful, right? If they deliver that, and I think they will, it's going to have the biggest audience ever. How they're delivering, I don't know. TikTok Adventures is my best guess, right? It's going to be the TikTok Adventures. If you missed my review of Westworld in the last episode, I'll put that out as its own little thing, because why wouldn't I? Oh God, it makes me work so hard for so little, right? Here's the thing. It's like dating a woman who's a solid 5.5 who thinks they're a 9, right? That's exactly what this show is, right? It's darling, you're not worth the effort, okay? Thank God you're only 8 episodes long. Oh, although they did a high last season, so now we're back to turgid Westworld hell. Also, I'm releasing this as a video, my walkthrough and of course commentary of the Liverpool exhibition. I forgot to drop this yesterday. That my review of last week's Star Trek. Which I liked, right? I liked. It's totally a bit wonky, but okay. I forgot. I'll put that out after this show. What else going? Oh yes, this is I think for Saturday. I'm not sure I might do the other one for Saturday. I do like this thumbnail. The trial of Chibnall, analysing a spirited defence of the Chibnall-Whittaker era. It's a very, very well written article, but I don't think they got anything there. Quite frankly, a key thump. I just hope they don't ask if it could have been written slightly better. If it could have been slightly better written. Chibnall's famous for being on TV as a smarmy little, as we say in rabbinic circles, cunt. As a smarmy little cunt. on TV with John Nathan Turner, the producer, and writers Pip and Jane Baker, and it's just like looking down their nose at them, going, can it be written just slightly better? Oh, piss off! Everything he's been written. I mean, honestly, people say, Tzvi, would you like to watch an episode of Chris Chibnall Doctor Who, or would you like me to what? What's the alternative? Put my fist up your ass. Would you like me to put your fist up your ass? I'm not talking about a small little Filipino boy either. I'm talking about a big, burly Irishman. Would you like me to put that fist up your ass? I'm like, oh, God, the fist up the ass sounds bad. That sounds bad. That sounds like something I really super would not enjoy, right? Super not on board for a fist up the ass. But then again, Chris Chibnall Doctor Who is fucking awful. It's fucking awful. You hope the fist up your ass gets done quicker. Fine, let me say hello to a few people on chat. Then we'll bring my guest on. Family Lapraic says, why is that there? I do not know what is there, but it's there. Because this is where you need to be in time and space, man. Right? That's where you need that. That's why it's there. Because the good Lord put you there for you to be there when that's there. The Soda Rangers, how you doing? Thank you for joining us. RJ Rizofro Macquie. Okay, RJ Rizofro Macquie. Is that Magpie? Like from Gremlins? Like, that thing. 3 cups of coffee and I'm ready. Well, there you go, baby. I'm right there with you. Rep number 1 is there. What is that? What's pissing you off? You don't like the sexy Doctor Who disco alien? What are you doing on my channel? Do you not know I'm all about the sexy Doctor Who disco alien, right? Really? I mean, like, I don't have one sexy Doctor Who disco alien masturbatory fantasy. I got a collection, right? I tell you, the young mind was very, very fertile. Suzanne Dando and that outfit left a strong impression. I have a great new name for the show. This isn't Doctor Who. It's so Doctor Who, baby. It's so Doctor Who. Mr. Jekyll and Hyde is here. How you doing? They what's with the angry faces? Red number 1. Find your inner calm, man. Find your inner calm. Breathe. It's all good, baby. It's all good. Darren M is here. How you doing, Darren? Thank you for joining us. And Digby Strawberry is here. Hello, Digby. How are you? Thank you for being with us. M is here. M, I always think you're in a darkened office somewhere in Whitehall, with the large oak door, and in walks Bond, in the smoky room. Says, "Come along, Bond. We have work to do." Do you not believe the end of that last Bond movie was going to end with was supposed to end with a Latasha Lynch M scene and her doing the gun barrel sequence? I so think that's what the original plan was before they realized how badly that would have imploded them. Like, you might not even be able to reboot your way out of that egg being over your face, mate. There's not much coming back from that. Dave from Travels of Time, Channel 2. How you doing, sir? That's a lovely bunch. They said the Rabbi needed launching into space. My response was, you're an anti-Semite. Well, yeah, they probably are an anti-Semite, odds on. However, launching me into space, that just may be, normal Rabbi hatred. That might just be directed at me. It could go either way. I do irate, make people irate sometimes. Caress the like button, says Darren. He is right. Caress it. Listen, I'm not going to say subscribing is going to make you sexually virile. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say if you hit that subscribe button, you may get a 9-hour erection, right? I'm not going to say that, right? But you might. Actually, 9 hours seems a bit long. For me, 9 minutes, I'll be like, that's more than enough, right? I need a nap in the middle, right? I'm actually tired even thinking about it. And that's the 9 minute, not the 9 hour. Well, I was built for comfort, not for speed, baby. That's what I like to tell you. DC is here. How you doing? Lonnie is here. Thank you for joining us on Connors. Crusader is here. 63 to 89. Well, there is a very fair argument to make that, right? There's a very fair argument. Although you're missing out the telly movie. There's a new. We'll look at it tonight. We'll look at what's his name. Eric Roberts Master. There's a new Eric Roberts Master box set coming out. I'm probably going to get that. I like the Eric Robert Master. Eric Roberts, of course, this is the same neck of the woods as my first guest. And by some bizarre coincidence, my only guess, probably my oldest friend, it is, of course, Rabbi Andrew. Hello. Thank you for joining us.
Greetings from the other side of the planet. How you doing? How's everyone doing out there? I just have to say that the disco alien, I love it.
Listen, why wouldn't you?
I have a collection might be bigger than yours. I'm just saying. The collection, that is.
Wait a minute. I should find where are these cards I made. When I did a Kickstarter campaign, a crowdfunding campaign for a thing, but I had this extra here, this thing. I had this extra called For the Male Gaze, a series of 6 cards made of my genre-related masturbatory fantasies, and they were fantastic. I'll try and I have them around somewhere.
I think you're definitely on something.
One second. We have. I'll make it bigger. Right.
Lovely.
For the Male Gaze, keeping the British end up. Da 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 da. Nobody does. Oh! This is actually the best one. The False is female. The False is very, very female.
God bless Princess Leia.
My personal favorite, though, being a child of '85, is, of course, no hanky panky in the TARDIS. No hanky panky in the TARDIS. Dominic Bracco doing the artwork on these ones, somehow making them not all stick together quite well. We also have the 2000 AD one. Don't even think it, citizen. Don't even think it, citizen. Finally. Oh no, not fun. Is that the last one? We got 2 more. We have a if you're hankering for a bit of space, 1999. Down. Party like it's 1999, baby. Down.
Oh, that's just beautiful.
And finally, I think we can all come together and agree. We all love. Oh my, it sounds so toy. I'm sensing strong emotions, Captain. I am sensing strong emotions, Captain, in my pants.
that just wouldn't fly today.
I did it today. I did it like last week.
In actual Star Trek. I have to say, listening to your broadcast earlier, I do agree with you on the Star Treks.
Okay, good.
I think
that's the thing. There's something so primal we can't disagree on.
Hit it out the park. The first 2 Orville seasons were good. I saw them at Comic-Con last time. Going to Comic-Con, just a quick plug. So maybe we could have a little talk after I come back from Comic-Con. But the last season of Orville was just like...
for me, I think the last one was like very much Seth MacFarlane's impression of what a Trump rally was like. A lot of it seemed that way,
possibly,
right? And a lot of it extra, and like again, it wouldn't be so crushingly tone deaf if the world wasn't completely on fire and so much better. Like so much better in every single way before. Right?
They're drinking less. I think the problem is they're drinking less on the Orville. They drank a lot more in the first few seasons.
Yeah, probably true. And it's not as funny, right? It's not as funny.
Yeah, it's just not as funny.
If that's generally where it is, I'm just like kind of bored by it, right?
I
saw this episode was okay.
Yeah, the last season, but the last episode of Strange New Worlds, that was fun. Genuinely, to see Anson Mount Pike just kind of running around like he just doesn't. I just thought it was brilliant.
With that episode was that I felt it was tonally a bit mismatched, right? I thought the lighthearted stuff was good, but the actual story with his daughter was really heavy, and I loved that, right? I thought that was good, and I thought it was really purely Star Trek. I came into this thing expecting to hate it. I really, really did. And it just won me over. I mean, firstly, it won me over with Nurse Chapel. Okay, I can wait this out. And the fact they had, somebody sexy on screen, I'm like, okay, for the first time in years, that sounds good. I'll stick with that. But it did. It won me over very quickly. I did like it. And so tonight's episode, the one I'm about to review tonight, freaking awesome. Have you seen it?
Not yet. I'm waiting for my wife to get
I won't spoil it for you. It is awesome beyond awesome. They did it on the cheap as well. They didn't make any sets or anything, right? This is just they did, but it's still awesome. I love this one.
Yeah, we have to agree on that.
I think we agree. Okay, I'm intrigued. You seemed upset with the Supreme Court decision, right?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, so I think I'm intrigued to hear what your impression is that brought you to be upset.
So I am not necessarily, I'm not a real progressive. I'm kind of somewhere in the middle. Okay.
No, if you were a progressive, you wouldn't talk to me.
That's probably true. But you're also one of my oldest friends, right?
Right. I mean,
there's only one guy that I grew that we were born at the same time, and we knew. That's the only other one I have.
Okay.
And I think we hung out with him once. Anyway,
Okay.
that's another story, and I got the pictures, but I'm not going to show you on the pictures unless you want. But I kind of came to this. I feel that, as we know, Judaism doesn't quite look at when an abortion and contraception in the same way as evangelical Christianity, for example, as an example, right?
To a certain extent, yeah. I mean, I think there's a little bit of wiggle room, but yeah, okay.
So I just feel, just from the Supreme Court taking a particular stance on religion, right, that is religious based somewhat, even though they want to talk about the U.S. Constitution, and we won't go into that nightmare.
Right.
So I just feel that they are trying to establish a religious authority where they should just stay out of it. What is separation of church and state? I mean,
right.
where's that?
Okay, but you understand this is a rescinding of their authority rather than a implementation of their authority.
Right. So what they should have done, and this is where I don't like Biden. I'm particularly fond of the cancel culture and all that kind of crap.
Right.
I don't mean to offend anyone, but if I do, so
no. You can honestly, you're happy to have whatever opinion you want, man.
I know. Well, I'm talking about some of my more progressive friends that might be watching, if they're even awake. And so to me, it's like you're watching this kind of. They should have just put it into the. If it was England, right? In England, right? The bastion of democracy.
Right.
I'm being sarcastic, obviously. It would have been written. Parliament would have passed something. That would have been it. The rights would have been done, and it would have been updated every year. But they're so stuck on what happened 250 fucking years ago by a bunch of old white guys that they've kind of missed the plot a little bit. And I think on the other side, with the cancel culture, they've also missed the plot as well. Both sides have missed the plot, and so everyone's just running away from each other, and so no one's able to have a decent conversation anymore.
That is true. That is true. I have found, though, that I think the way that what you think it is, right? It isn't that. I think a lot of probably I think everything that's being blasted out right now is one particular narrative. You get it through media, you get it through entertainment, you get news media, you get social media. You really have to seek alternative media to hear any dissenting opinions. Yeah, I think this is done purposefully, right? Because I think there are many questions to have and conversation to have. I don't think there's an interest to have them, because when you start having them, it's not at all. So, for example, this case with Roe v. Wade. I'm no legal scholar. I do understand that Ruth Bader Ginsburg and people who commented on this have said the law was very, very shaky. It is very tenuous, and it was never going to stand. And it was saying that really, if it wanted to make it a right, and then we got to discuss what is the actual right. Because I don't think most people, even evangelical Christians, are as opposed to abortion as are being portrayed, right?
Yeah, that's true. 54% of Republicans don't necessarily agree with this ruling. And that's the whole thing. Why should the courts be legislating? That's the problem. The courts.
But but again, it's not that. It's an end of them legislating. There's an end of them legislating on untenable law.
That could be true.
They were legislating it because much like many of the things that are the more progressive things that become normalized in the Western world, they don't have popular support, and they get implemented by the Supreme Court. Right. So what happens now is it's getting kicked back to the local populations. Right. So which I think is much more equitable. right? I really do. I think it's look, really, I thought about this, and I think the debate is not if when it's alive, when it's not alive, not if it's a baby or it's not. I think the debate is if it matters. Does it matter? Right? It does. Does it matter? The what was it? You have let's say you have somebody who gets pregnant, right? They don't want the baby. They have an abortion. Now the baby hasn't connected to anybody. The only person who I domain on it, I think it is the woman's body. I agree with that. But it's a later term abortion. Almost certainly that's a life. Does it matter?
Well, I think look, life. Look, we in Judaism, right? We recognize the potential for life. That's important, right? Obviously. Right. And so, if you look at halacha, right, it's the status is when it's a monetary value. The pregnant, the fetus is a monetary value until the baby draws her first breath, right? And then Chazal came and Chazal recognized the sanctity of potential of life. And so, obviously, you've got to weigh those options, right? What's best for the mother, the health of the mother that's already breathing, and the viability of the fetus and everything else. In the United States, it's slightly different because forced pregnancies, as we was part of how slavery was perpetuated. Was how they kind of made. He's dealing with all of that trauma.
What bearing does that have on us at all?
Because it has a bearing on a population that on the poorer populations in the United States, who are being kept down. To a certain
the poorer populations are but
that's why that can be white. That's not a matter of color.
Planned Parenthood was set up by deeply racist origins and done as a eugenics program to limit the black community. Yeah. Right. I think it's a terrible crime upon the black community. I think also the black community has been targeted by people who say they're their friends, like the people on the Democrat side. And they've systematically introduced programs to destroy the family unit, right? And I think that's why you see disproportionate crime in those areas, keeping those communities essentially enslaved to them.
Joe Biden voted for all of those laws, right? I mean, he voted
right, and it's destroying those communities. But the idea that the idea that this is any way here's the thing. Here's a narrative I think that's being sold that the cessation, or this is a cessation of women's rights as an attack on women in an attempt to subjugate them or start a path towards subjugation. I think that's the narrative that's being sold. The underpins of the story. I think that's the narrative being sold. And I think on a more global level, right? You're being sold a story that you are the people who are not like you are evil, right? Right. I think that's what the narrative being sold, and it's bullshit, right? It's bullshit.
It is bullshit. Yeah.
To control it. Here's what I suggest: get off mainstream any corporate media. It's everything. It's like, I know this sounds like a conspiracy theory. In these movies, they're lying to you about freaking everything, and they're doing it openly now, right?
Well, I think it's happening on. Yeah, I don't believe a fucking thing I read. Really, just don't believe it. You can see the bias everywhere. When it comes to Israel, for example, I mean, I saw at the beginning of the show you were talking about Trump,
right?
And as Edom, I think that's an interesting concept because I don't think he necessarily intended some of his followers to act in the way that they do. I think he's a sensationalist. Anyway, Trump, I'm not going to get into Trump because I don't want to get shot walking down the street by my neighbors.
But you see,
but at the same time, I was just in
problem right there.
I was staying in Petach Tikva just this last in February, and I was with my son, and I'm driving down Petach Tikva, and I see Kikar Trump, right, Trump Square, and I'm like, and that's interesting because yes, he did wonderful things for Israel. For me, Israel's, I have been a voter just on Israel.
What
in the
what did he do that wasn't wonderful? Like everything he
he's the Mashiach, right? In terms of what he did for Israel.
I think it's the Mashiach of Edom. I really do. I really do. Okay.
So
what's the
God,
one
my God,
thing they
is probably
describe
starting,
Edom
right?
as in the Chumash? They
Say
say they describe him as the orange man, his big red hair, right? Like it just sounds like it to me. What do you want me to tell you? I think he's Mashiach of Edom. I think this. Listen, dude. I think this is the end of days. I think we've got months left, if that. I think shit's hit the fan. Like we're not going. I think we're going to see a exodus, a Yetzias Mitzrayim level event. I have no idea what it is, but I think everything is lining up for that. Like I don't know how much you some of this stuff. It's all like boom, boom, but we're like months out. If that.
Well, I try to explain to you, if you think about it, why do we live it? Why do we first leave England, right? I always try to explain this to people. Like we experienced racism, right, growing up. You remember the bottles thrown in JFS?
I only have experienced it with you, as I recall.
No, just there was a different. Well, we were smoking too much pot, I think.
What was too much? What was it?
I don't know. I haven't actually reached that level yet. I don't know what's too much yet.
I don't know. Although you can't get allegedly hash out here in Israel like you. Well, I'm sure you can. I don't know.
Like
I don't know.
You just can't get it anymore. I lament that. I lament those days where we'd watch the old Tom Baker Doctor Who episodes and I remember the days. I remember the days.
But we bought like an ounce a week or something because we had a conglomerate, as I recall. Economics were really quite good.
But I live in California now. It's like the land of the
land of the weed,
land of the smoke and bongs.
I'm really hoping. The trouble with the government being can't do anything, and the Arabs being in the government here, they can't legalize weed. I was really up for from edibles, like can you like weed infused Canadalach? I think that'd be awesome. Weed challah. Challah is bread that you have on Friday nights, right?
Right.
And Canadians have matzo balls.
Well, if you could make weed infused schmaltz, that would just be absolutely wonderful. Wouldn't that be wonderful?
Just win on every level.
I have a recipe for it.
Oh, there you go. You see, does this not sound like the Messianic ages around the corner? We're lining up for doing all these incredible things.
But my father was telling me in Netanya, where he goes to the pharmacy, but people are lining up to buy pot.
Yeah.
For the medical.
Why are they lining up? They deliver.
We're talking Netanya.
They're the friars. Oi.
But I tell you what, seriously speaking, I think that there is a disconnect between American Jews and the reality of our situation here. And that's why I think that, when we get so comfortable in the place that and American Jews have a hard time recognizing that we just think we're like everybody else. Because in America, it's all about skin color, right? Because we're white, we're like everybody else. And so I believe, and I've said this to my wife, she doesn't believe it. I said, get ready. We might have to start packing soon.
It's going to happen in the blink of an eye. I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet. I thought it was going to go down. I thought it was going to happen, but it hasn't happened. I'm surprised.
Yeah, just get ready. Just get ready for that scape shoot where we could go back to the Misra Dakita and we could. I already got an in there. I got that number even already, so I'm good. Get rest of the and my son, I already got a kid there, so I'm good.
There you go.
But American Jews is such a disconnect.
Lives there, was it Haredi, which is ultra orthodox? With the black
my son?
Yeah.
No, he's Chiloni. He he wants to join Shabbat, so you better just be careful what you say.
Okay.
He was my ex-wife.
Everybody has neighbors in Shabbat. It's not as scary here in Israel.
Yeah, I know. He wants us to. He's going to do security for him.
You get off.
Yeah, it was good to have a son in it though when you go.
Yeah.
No, he was Dati Leumi. Now he's staunch Chiloni, secular. So, but my ex-wife, she moved back, and I don't know. Maybe one day we'll be neighbors again.
I think it's gonna happen. Honestly. Okay, here's what I think. I think honestly, by this time next year, the Beit HaMikdash will be built, right? Which is the Jewish temple in Jerusalem. Which means such a fundamental shift in the world, right? It's I think we're heading for some kind of implosion because things are spinning out of control faster than anybody.
Oh yeah,
It's never been like this in our lifetimes.
the question is, are we going to be slaughtering goats anymore?
I don't know. But okay, so the thing with abortion, I think the problem is, I think most people were okay when we had a compromise where it was safe, legal, and rare. The Bill Clinton axiom, right?
Yeah.
That most people were like. I mean, and again, I think having abortion probably kills a person, right? So that I think that's true. I think it probably kills a person. It depends how long it is. I think when it has a heartbeat, it's I don't know. When it can feel pain, you probably shouldn't kill it, right? At that point. So, I think the problem is this uncontrolled abortion, this abortion, this late term abortion, that is just horrific, right? And it seems to be the Democrat side is screaming that it's a human right to allow it. I think it's
So the question is it the question? I think the big question is it okay if the life of the mother is at stake? Late term abortion.
Okay, no, I'm only talking about elective abortions.
So if it's elective, look, that's another discussion, obviously.
Okay, that I believe.
I'm saying the first trimester. Let's talk about the first trimester.
It still allows for medical abortion and including rape and incest. I think specifically in the language of the bill. I'm not sure. Right,
it depends on the state. The states can decide that. That's the problem. In terms of rape and incest, some states can force the woman to go full term.
So Alabama, I think, has the most restrictive laws, allows for that. Now, in terms of forcing women to go full term, right? Again, I think mostly we're talking about elective emotions, right? Elective abortions. Right.
It depends on the state. That's the problem. It depends on the state.
Okay, but I don't think. I mean, again, this narrative is non-existent. It's not a real thing.
Right, but I think what
the late-term abortions are a real thing.
They are, but the problem is, and I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this out loud. The United States Constitution is insane.
Okay.
I mean, it should be scrapped and completely rewritten. I mean, why are we?
Honestly, the Democrat side of the world would like that. The Democrat side, and is very much.
But maybe some of the Republicans would too.
I don't think it's compared. I think the Republicans are feckless and useless. I think
I
think all the Trumpy Republicans coming in that are gonna you have no idea what's gonna happen come November. Again, it's not the end of days, but come November, everyone's being impeached. I mean, the president, the vice president, the attorney general, with a lot of ground, it's going to be a bloodbath, right? And I think what I think is going to happen is the election's going to go, and I think it might be, I'm sure it's going to be safe and secure, but they may catch it not being safe and secure. Like it was totally safe and secure last time, right? So
it was good television.
I think it might be more openly not safe and secure, and I think that might cause things. That's if you get there. It seems that your side now is really itching to go to war, right? They're really.
I'm undeclared politically. I'm actually undeclared.
Right. Okay. The
wishy-washy might be a good word to use.
The Biden side thing. The seems to be they're really, and it seems to be on a fallacy. But no, my point is this: though, if you believe life doesn't have sanctity, and you can kill that baby, right? And it's a baby. Or late term, it's a baby. If you believe that, that's fine, right? That's your belief. But why should you impose that belief on another population that doesn't have that belief?
That's a good question.
And you see, that's the thing.
Excellent point.
We're not having these conversations.
No, they're not. We're having this conversation, but they're not, because you're either right. If you're either right or you're wrong, and everybody thinks that they're right, and everybody thinks the other person's wrong, and there's no way.
I found that a one-sided approach. I find most people on the, and again, I don't like using the word right because it's really not that. But the non-Biden side of the world, right? Much more open to compromise.
I had a friend of mine who's very progressive, very progressive, and he's an atheist, and he doesn't. But he's such a staunch atheist. He says, if you don't believe in God, you're complicit. If you're a moderate, you're complicit. You're complicit. Just because you said, I believe in God, I believe in the Torah. My interpretation of it, right?
I agree with him to a certain extent. I kind of agree
I'm
with him.
complicit as well. So Mark will love you, but he'll think you're a psychopath because you're religious. Right, or that you're a rabbi, or that you believe in God.
Not only I'm super religious. I'm more religious than most people.
Yes,
right?
I'm
crazy religious.
Yes,
I try and act like God is real.
Yeah, even when I was Orthodox, you were more frum than I was. I remember.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about you. Actually, honestly, I don't think religious observance, ritualistic observance. I think it's important. I think it's a path that will bring you to an end, but I don't think that's a very good barometer.
No, you're right. You're right. I always like to say I don't believe in organized religion. I believe in disorganized religion.
Yes.
That it's it's your personal faith, what you believe, how you interpret, what you use to make this a better world, right? Tikkun olam. That's a word that is thrown around in progressive Judaism. I don't think a lot of them really know what it means.
Right.
But it's a word that's thrown around a lot. We know what Tikkun olam means, right?
So this is why I think you should start a YouTube channel, right? You said
I am. This is my. You are inaugurating me because we love sci-fi. I got the music side as well to bring in as well. And,
let me share all your info. 1 second.
Yeah, it's all a work in progress right now.
Right. You said you sent it by Facebook, right? Gotta go to Facebook.
I did.
Fine.
Nothing particularly interesting right now.
But I
check out my album because I get royalties.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm putting it in the chat,
and it might give you a 9-hour boner as well.
Really, it might do. You never know.
Look, it's guaranteed to give you a 20-minute one.
Yeah, 20 minutes not bad. Like, how much does it cost?
Well, you could just listen to it for free online.
That one you get a reasonable bonus. Like
you could buy it on iTunes, whatever.
Okay, but listen, if you want the full pulse seating, member of the full glory, right? That's here it is. Go buy it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, go buy it, and it is better than Viagra without the side effects.
Listen. The side effects never bother me. I like having. Yeah, I was like, let me see. You may die horribly of a heart attack, but you do get a raging boner. I think it's a fair compromise. It's a chance I'm willing to take. It's like okay, all this works for me. Right? Have you ever seen Black Mirror?
No, I have not.
Oh my God! Do you have Netflix? You should watch Black Mirror.
Yeah, I do.
Okay,
I do like your
Black Mirror. Oh my God! So
I have not seen Black Mirror. I've seen it. I've seen it flash by. Then other things, just like oh, I'm like a little.
You are gonna love Black Mirror. So it's weird. They keep doing things. They keep coming real. So this episode, the first episode, is about the tension if the Prime Minister of England has to fuck a pig or not. Right? It's and the build up to it's incredible.
Oh, I love that.
What?
I love that.
It's so messed up. It's so messed up. You will indeed love it. But listen, a channel you should check out is Russell Brand's channel. I go to channels of people who
I've watched his stuff. Yeah.
So he's very. There's a lot of comedic stuff, and there's I think you can be enough of a voice to start to break the mold, right? Because you can't hit people straight on, right? You have to be gentle,
Yes, you do, because they might.
I'm not the gentle type. I'm like, hang on, darling.
You're not gentle. I thought you were such a gentleman.
No.
I know you're not. I know you too well for that.
But honestly, there's so many small sides to every issue. Like there's so many things like January 6th. There's so much you can talk about. That's crazy. there's the election. There's so much going to Biden. There's so much going to. I mean, I'm not sure what you mean. Just said. Did you see the cheat sheet he was holding where it says "You sit down" and you did you see that?
I'm not sure Biden. I think Biden might be like have been taken over by an alien, possibly.
No, I think he's just older.
You don't think that he's wearing a bodysuit?
No, I think he's just trying not to die on camera, right? That's what I think is going down, right?
That theory.
But there's lots like do you know about like the weaponization of the Justice Department? There's a lot you could talk about, which is just crazy, and also TV. There's a good TV. They Raised by Wolves got cancelled. Did you watch Raised by Wolves?
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because HBO Max is being sold, and it's one of the many things that got cut.
I quite enjoyed that.
It's one of the things I was hoping would survive. Meanwhile, Westworld is on. Man, that's boring.
I got so tired after the second season, and every time I try and watch it,
first season was good though, but it was a lot. First season was pretty good, but the second season was very. And this season, we're one episode in, and it's long and it's boring.
I do have to say, Stranger Things.
I love Stranger Things. I haven't seen the last episode yet, though. I'm up to the last one. I was gonna do. I'm either doing that or the Orville tonight. Right?
And they're starting the second part is coming out this week.
Oh, it is. Oh, I better get the
because it ended and I was just like, fuck, I'm gonna have to wait 2 more years or whatever until the next pandemic. And then they were like, oh no, it's all right. July 1st, 2022.
Okay. So July, that's cool. That's like it's a day away.
Yeah, it's a day. Yeah.
Oh, only a day away. Oh man, I got too many stuff. Then I guess I can catch up if I can get them. Although I don't like them dumping it on one day. Right, that always bothers me.
Netflix does that, but I like the Star Treks that come out every week. Like, or Star Wars.
So are you up to date on Doctor Who news? Do you know what's going down with that?
I am. I've watched everything up until I know the new Doctor. I don't know. I forgot his name. They've chosen a new Doctor. I can't wait till Mr. Thumb Up his ass is gone.
Oh god, we got one more turgid episode.
Do we have to watch Whittaker one more time?
It's kind of like passing a kidney stone.
I don't blame her, really. I don't blame her, but the episodes were absolute dog shit.
I do really intense deep dive reviews, like really intense, where I go through it line by line, and her performance is atrocious.
My wife put it this way. My wife said it's like David Tennant, Doctor, right? Bam, 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 bam. The brain, Doctor's brain. Since when did the Doctor become stupid?
They portray this Doctor. The problem is Jodie Whittaker can't conceive of the character, right? It's like a Teletubby cat. It's like not real, so she can't. That's why there's no gravity in it. But there's no believability in it. Plus, the scripts are terrible.
The scripts are terrible, right?
Moron, right? You're right. It's insane.
Yeah, all the other Doctors were huge Doctor Who fans.
Sorry,
David Tennant was a huge Doctor Who fan. That's
Matt Smith, what he did, because he hadn't seen Doctor Who, right? He went, he watched a story from each Doctor, and he got the through line in. That's how he got his whole costume together, because he loved Tomb of the Cybermen.
Yeah,
which is a great story.
We
live in a day and age where we have a lot of HD Doctor Who ready on tap. Oh man, I don't have it with me. I just got the Blu-ray box set of the 1985 season 22. Prime Perry. We have the Perry. We have the purple, the turquoise Perry, which I like a lot. And we also have the pink Perry. I've only got the case of Androzani Perry. I don't have the 2 Doctors Perry or the Attack of the Cybermen Perry, but I have 2 Perrys. I think it's very nice.
Yeah, when I go to Comic-Con, maybe I'll see if I can find you one.
Well, no Perry, no. Now.
Have you ever been to Comic-Con?
Yes, I went. The last year I went was with the. Actually, this year is interesting because it's now the bubbles burst, so it's kind of quiet again, right?
But I haven't even told us what the panels are yet.
And it's right. It's going to be much smaller this year. DC's not going to go there. DC is out from Comic-Con, right? It's crazy. It's crazy. DC said, so he just recreated the Buzz Lightyear movie. Oh God. You can always tell if something is woke if it tanks, right? If it's not woke, it does incredible. Like Top Gun, he obviously did very, very well, right? Buzz Lightyear sank without trace. Over and over again, it's incredible. That's why I think this Doctor Who's going to be good, because I think it's going to do well. I really think it's going to do well.
Yeah, well, you got the OG, the new OG, because he's not OG. The new OG's back. So
he had to come back, right? Everything he's doing it seems to be putting his finger up at Chibnall by at the same time saying, it's so exciting.
What they're probably doing is he's probably letting him write a few words of the script, and he takes it and just puts a line through everything.
No, it's just all Rusty Davis. Yeah, no, there's gonna be no connection, I think. Right.
Well, the last couple of episodes, you could tell they're trying to change it. It's like my son's a huge Whovian, and he got so angry with all the Jodie. He was just like, what the fuck?
This is what you do. You fade it to white when Capaldi regenerates. Fade it to white, right? And it's fine. Because how apparently the rumor is how this is ending is that she's going to regenerate and fade to white, and it's not going to go into something else, right? So and the David Tennant stuff's going to be completely separate.
So they delete. So basically, they're canceling the Jodie Whittaker Doctor Who.
Essentially, yeah. So if you just none of this was real. This was some like weird thing going on in between regenerations. It's obviously not real.
Like David Tennant wakes up and just, that was a nightmare.
Yeah, exactly. So, no, that was
awful. I'm from Sheffield.
Yes. Icky thump. Hey, by God. But yeah, no, I think he's and as soon as he starts doing anything, this Rusty Davis, it was super exciting, right? It's like again. There's a cartoon character called Meet the Beat that's coming back, which is a big ball of fur, essentially. And things that we've never seen before. So I think it's going to be absolutely crazy.
I can't wait.
All right, so fine. I'm going to go into my Star Trek review, and you haven't seen yet. Is there anything you would like to talk about? Because I've been directing things. Is there anything that you would like to ask me?
No, I think we could talk about some things next time.
Okay, welcome back. We will call the segment Red Pill. But honestly, look into the abortion issue. It's not what was it. Oh, by the way, the reason these corporations are paying for people to have abortions isn't because they have an attack of morality. It lowers their personnel costs. They're using women, right? They're using women to making them do something that they're ultimately going to be miserable doing, which is basically the truth. I mean, like social science is pretty clear. Being childless, generally speaking, leads to for women leads to suicidal depression in later years, right? It just does, And it's the only people who benefit from it are these corporations who get cheaper labor for longer, and they don't have to worry about getting a family plan, right? They're just taking the piss. They are taking the piss out of women big time. In my opinion, Ethan Bockheimer said, "How you doing?" And Mr. PC Game Forever, how are you doing? Thank you for joining us. As is Gareth Morgan. The Rabbi theory would invalidate Matt Smith and Peter's existence. That's why I prefer. That's why I prefer him like not being the 10th Doctor. I think he's going to be playing something different.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's good.
We're going to find out very soon.
Well, it's going to be a year. We don't find out. The official start date is November 23.
That's just. Well, let's hope the planet's still here.
Well, I think it will be. I think play your cards right. Be nice to each other. Yeah.
Maybe they can push up the release date a little bit.
we can all just hearing our voices. But do start your channel. Let me know when you're starting. Let me know if you need any help starting. Okay.
I will. I'll absolutely, my friend.
All right. Thank you for joining us. Doodle Pip.
Thanks. Cheers.
All right. You don't have to come out, or do I? I always hate, but I can't.
I can leave. It says leave studio. I'll hit leave studio.
Okay, there you go. That does it. This has been Boomer YouTube studio. No, you're still here. You're still
Excerpts. Here. I'm doing it right now. Bye, mate.
Oh, there you go. And then there was one. There can be but one. Yes, I like it that way. A bit of self-pleasure, baby. Bit of self-pleasure. I'm just going through the things I have. I want to watch that video, but I don't want to do more bloody politics. Yeah, okay. We're going to do this first, and then we'll move into Star Trek. And I really loved this week's episode of Star Trek, right? Really freaking loved it. It was something really cheap with genuine stakes, right? And it had a surprise, right? It went places that I didn't think it would, and it worked because it was all character. They took the time building up the characters. It's a masterclass on actually how to write TV. Anyway, I saw this. I thought, this is fun. Let's go through this. Because we have no idea what's coming, right? We have no freaking idea what's coming. I think that's one of the things that I think most people agree in. We don't know. We don't know anything, right? We have no idea. So I saw this. I thought, this is fun. The 10 biggest new Who plot twists nobody saw coming. Did you see it? Now, I want to be clear going through this. I saw the plot twist of The Sixth Sense halfway through The Sixth Sense. So I'm good at that, right? Did I work out The Village, right? Before, I can't remember. Not sure I was interested enough, right? Right, but so I'm quite good at working out plot, but I will tell you if I remembered one, right? So we'll start with it. So which plot twist shocked you most? That is a good question. Doctor Who has never shied away from a shocking cliffhanger and plot twist. Since the return in 2005, the series, it didn't really have big plot twists. What are the big plot twists in classic Who? Like moving backwards. I mean, look, we had the Cybermen turning up at the end end of the show. That was it, and Omega being revealed as being Omega. But shock bits. I mean, like, I other than those two things, I can't think of anything. Right? I really generally can't think of it in any shock revelations. Right? Let me think. I mean, Leela staying behind, but no, we knew she was leaving. Oh, cliffhanger for Face of Evil. That was a good one, right? When you see the Doctor's face, that was a good one. Okay, so let's think, what good cliffhangers? But there aren't many like that as well. I mean, also was it the Ark, right? Where they come back and it's like it's a couple hundred years later, and there's a giant statue, and the giant statue isn't a person anymore. It's one of the monoids or whatever they're called. But I'm sure there must be more, right? I'm sure there are more. There have been some plot twists that missed the mark completely. Here's looking at you, timeless children. Most twists and cliffhangers kept fans of the show intrigued and wanted more. Whether it's a surprise return or a beloved character or villain, they never really did that. I mean, Deadly Assassin, the Master, I guess, and the Barusa reveal. Right. Yeah, okay. All right. Beloved character, villain. One line that changed the history of the show or an unexpected reveal. Okay, let's get to it. The 11th Doctor being killed. That was a good way of starting a season, right? That was really a good way of starting a season. But what happened? He turned up later. I can't remember. He turned up again, and they didn't want to tell him. Yeah. But again, I like that whole mystery of the season. The first 10 minutes of the episode, we see the 11th Doctor killed by a mysterious astronaut figure that has risen from Lake Silencio in Utah. It looked beautiful as well. It's fair to say that many fans were left shocked and confused by this, as there was no way the Doctor can actually die, right? Not until a few minutes later in the episode, it gives a big twist that the Doctor's back, except a younger version of himself who has no idea who or why he was sent an invitation to Utah. River, Amy, and Rory spent the remainder of the season keeping his death a secret from the Doctor, as they were afraid he might find out, since it's been a fixed point in time. The twist being at the end of the season, a clever twist, right? On the end of the season, as many wondered how the Doctor would cheat death, and it was, of course, it was the shape-changing spaceship. The War Doctor, yes, yeah, this was a good. This was Moffat, basically. Okay, yeah, this was great. Actually, you want my favorite bit? My favorite bit. Oh, change the thing. My favorite bit in what was it Name of the Doctor? Is that's the name of the story? My favorite bit is when you see Colin Baker's Doctor walk in the background at the beginning, right? When it's Clara being with all the doctors. But yeah, that was a real goosebump moment, because it wasn't archived footage or digitally remastered footage, which doesn't really work anymore. It was somebody in a coat, and it looked a lot better. But anyway, yeah, the end of this was clever, right? And you're like, what? Doctor's 50th anniversary episode was coming up fast, and speculation was through the roof at who would be returning and who wouldn't be. However, no one would suspect a new Doctor would have been thrown into the mix. And an awesome Doctor. I strongly recommend the John Hurt War Doctor series from Big Finish, and also the Jonathan Carey The War Doctor Begins. Both excellent series. Fun to get more into this guy's life, right? We all assumed the 8th Doctor fought in the Time War. As we were introduced to Crystal Eccleston's 9th, he was shown to be seeing his face for the first time. That's true, hinting that he was wounded in the Time War. No one thought there was a Doctor between the two, but the final episode of season 7 proved everyone wrong, and it really worked, right? It worked in continuity. It really worked. As it revealed that John Hurt was to be the War Doctor in at the very end of Name of the Doctor, right? Yeah. And you still didn't really know what was going on. What, John Hurt? Man, this is such the polar opposite of Dr. Ruth, isn't it? It's such the opposite, man. What's inside the spear? And this was added to by that Murray Gold music, right? That what is happening? Yeah, that Dalek music. I can't. The operatic one. Season 4's brilliant 2-part finale, which was disappointing. Okay, here's why I'm disappointed with it. I would have liked to see a Dalek go down. Listen, a bunch of bloody Egyptian slaves took out a Dalek once. Leave me alone. What, a whole army of Cybermen can't take out one Dalek? It was silly. Should have been a little bit more, equal. So season 4's brilliant finale left fans in a sea of emotions, as no one could have expected, that the Doctor's greatest foes were going up head to head in an epic battle. I mean, it was pure Rusty Davis in this epic battle, and playing against it was a very personal story of the Doctor and Rose. Right. It's really, I mean, yeah, I don't really stop and think about it enough, because I just find it so enjoyable at the time. But when you stop and take a step back, what a really clever bit of writing it is. It really is. It's a very, very good bit of writing. As Cybermen commenced to take over the world, there was an increased interest that the sphere that came through with the Cybermen. Scientists at Torchwood Institute couldn't understand how there were no readings coming off it, as it was just existing. Although the science pointed out that it shouldn't. The Doctor questions the Cybermen about the sphere, which is when the Cybermen admit they don't know anything about the object, but merely followed it through the void into the alternate universe. Okay, the twist came that the sphere decided to open up with four Daleks flying out, immediately ready to kill anything they got in the way. I mean, that was very cool. I mean, that was very, very cool. Oh, man. Doctor Who, when it was good. Oh, Doctor Who when it was good. It was good. Anyone in the gang, this is less cool, because, the whole season 5 was just a season, was it 5 or 6? It was the second Matt Smith season was just never as good, and it tried hard, right? It was just never as good. Season 6 was full of twists around. I mean, like, a good man goes to war. This This only works on the first viewing. It falls apart afterwards because it's just like it's very stagey. Season 6 was full of twists and turns. I mean, it is, delightful Doctor Who at the same time. So, twists and turns around every corner. Aside from the Doctor's death at the beginning, the season, River's song being Amy and Rory's mother, but Amy and Rory's daughter, I should say. Another shocking and important plot twist was dropped when it was revealed that Amy was to be the flesh duplicate of I know. Okay, this stuff didn't really work. I mean, it led to a good man went to war. Yeah, I disagree. Captain Darkness face a bow. No, he wasn't. It was a hint at best, right? A hint at best. The face of bow. The face of bow. They called me. That was as close as you're gonna get. I mean, it was nice, but I don't think he was. That one line changed many things that fans had already seen throughout the season, seasons 1 through 3. Technically, we meet Captain Jack Harkness twice in season 1 as the face was introduced at the beginning of Parting of the Wave. Again, it's a stretch. I think it's a stretch, right? I do think it's a stretch. It's possible, right? I'm not saying impossible. By Jack introducing the empty child. Originally, what was the empty child? Oh, the empty child. Yeah. The season 1 story, right? Originally, the face of Bo had a small role, which gradually became somewhat bigger. Well, it was an expensive prop, right? And it was good. It worked. Like again, that whole season worked. It was very exciting. Somewhat bigger until his death in season 3's Gridlock. I love Gridlock. Gridlock is beautiful, right? Gridlock is absolutely beautiful. I love the him in it, right? I love Rusty Davies is great at making a sense of community, a sense of family, right? Out of this, which he made by all those people in the car. Freaking love Gridlock, right? And when it had that hymn at the end, it's beautiful, right? It was really genuinely beautiful. He tells the Doctor's last 4 words, "You are not alone." Although the final words were seemingly forgotten by fans until Professor Yana Master reveal. More on that later. Many wondered how the face of Bo would know that he wasn't the Doctor's only kind. Face of Bo mentioned mystery. It's mystery. It's fun. You don't have to understand it. Oh God. Face of Bo mentioned throughout the series that he had lived a long time, so fans assumed that Jesse heard through the grapevine that he was not a Time Lord out there. But it's not until Jack Harkness innocently states he was the face of Bo in the Boshano Peninsula that it seemed to make sense that we knew how he knew so much about. I mean, it'll be millions of years later. Like I have trouble remembering 2 years ago, a year ago, a week ago, yesterday. Now, where am I? What are you doing in my bedroom? Right? This was a good one. This was I saw this one coming, but this was a good one, and it was, I think, Clara's sexiest outfit. Yeah, I like the red mini skirt, Clara. This is definitely the best outfit. Clara was introduced, and I like the way she was introduced. Out of left field, in a very unique way, like a season early, half a season early. During Asylum of the Daleks, we see Oswin Oswald living her life day to day as she's trapped in a Dalek asylum after crashing there a year prior. She befriends and communicates with both the Doctor and Rory through the asylum's communication systems, and the Doctor instructs her on how to slow down the Daleks. This is a good episode. People will slag this off. I like this episode. Blow them up if necessary, and where we go to find her throughout the episode, the Doctor does question how she's been able to survive so long, and where she gets the milk and is able to make a numerous amounts of souffle. I think the eggs was the question she was making. Things take a tragic turn when Oswin is real that Oswin never escaped from the Daleks, but was turned into one herself. So it's all been her delusion. The Doctor explains how the truth was too much for her to handle, and she created the world inside her head where she escaped, waiting for somebody to come and rescue her. Finally accepting what happened, Oswin decides to help the Doctor by wiping all the memories of the Daleks regarding the Doctor and help him as commander find the way back to the TARDIS. Yeah, I do remember that. Rose Tyler is Bad Wolf. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, what it wasn't that she was a reveal to be Bad Wolf. It was a slow motion walk towards it, right? That was so cool. That was really, really good. I like that a lot. During season 1, we kept hearing two words following the Ninth Doctor and Rose throughout time and space. Yeah, and I like they didn't even talk about it. And I like, that was what, man, that was a fun time. Like, I remember being on, it was Gallifrey 1 back then, before Gallifrey Base. I mean, yeah, before it got awful, right? Maybe it already was. I didn't, but like people like pointing out, oh look, it's a Bad Wolf on the bomb that Captain Jack was sitting on, right? In Doctor Dancers, at the end of Doctor Dancers. It says it in German. Yeah, I thought it was very cool. Even the Doctor mentioned in Boomtown that the two words had been a constant throughout their time together. Although the phrase has no meaning to him, to the Doctor, it still worried him that he found it strange that the two words kept popping up everywhere they went. It turned out that had been a message Rose Tyler was sending to herself all along, so she could save the Doctor when the time was right. All right, I forgot about it. In the season finale, the Doctor and Rose were forced to face an army of Daleks, including the Emperor Dalek. Love that design. That was one of the high spots of season 1. That Emperor Dalek design. It was that look. You see Matt Tucker. Matt Tucker is absolute best there. It was fan-freaking-tastic design. Right? Love that design. Nick Briggs doing sterling work on the voice. It was all. Yeah. That whole cliffhanger. My God, it was so good, right? Like, it will surrender. And he's like, no. What is the meaning of this negative? And he's like, you have that great Doctor speech, right? Here's a killer Doctor speech. Can I try and find that on YouTube? There we go, YouTube. I could just pull it up from my files. I'll do that. That's probably easier. We'll see how long it takes to open up. Ninth Doctor Who, Ninth Doctor Dalek confrontation. Did we get the right one? Yeah, this is the one. This is the one. It's a short. I'm not going to play the whole thing.
Access limitless power with elements.
Limitless power. Hang on a second. Here. Yeah, that Murray Gold soundtrack. Oh, right. Oh. What if? Yeah, can I make it a high quality? Yeah, I guess it's good enough to play through here, right? Oh yeah, and again, this 2005 era special effects aren't bad, right?
It's impossible. I know there's shit. You still gonna survive.
Oh, Linda with the Y. Where is it? This is it.
Love you. That's nice. Hello. Oh, really? Why is that?
Okay, I'm waiting to get to the good bit.
No.
This is it. Yes.
I said no. It means no. No. Because this is what I'm going to do.
Again, this is really one of his archetype Doctor moments.
Rescue them. I'm going to save Rose Tyler from the middle of the Dalek fleet, and then I'm going to save the Earth, and then, just to finish off, I'm going to wipe every last stinking Dalek out of the sky. But you have no weapons, no defenses, no plan. Yeah. And doesn't that scare you to death? Rose?
Yes, Doctor?
I'm coming to get you.
There's only 3 Daleks there. And it's awesome. Yeah, that was insane. And then you had the countdown, like the countdown trailer. That was just off the charts good. Wait, we're in the middle of reading an article. Did I click off it? Here we go. Yeah, no, but that deserved a little sideways step, right? That certainly deserved it. Where'd it go? Come back. So I hope it doesn't get any better than that. I'll get too excited. Professor Yana is the master. Yeah, listen, that last master box set, freaking awesome. Yeah, I want to get a big finish in a minute. I'm taking too long with this. River Song revealed to be Amy Dharma's Rory and Amy's daughter. I didn't like it. Leave me alone. Will Fit knocks 4 times. Yes. Heartbreaking. Oh, which reminds me. Where is that stupid story? Yeah, we accept everything. Did they take it down? What? Go back. I want to read that story. Consent? Yeah, no, I consent. Yeah, what the hell? That's weird. Here. Doctor Who? Everybody's reported on this stupid story. Non-story. Date. Recent ones. Yeah. Okay, we'll start with this. I actually reported on this last live stream, and it was like, oh, here it goes. It was I think I just threw away straight away. Fine. So rumor is the TARDIS is going to get a wheelchair around, which it might be, but what they're basing it on. Where is it? There's one picture probably put on Instagram. I say, oh look, that's Bonnie Langford with Hebe, the new Big Finish companion. No, it wasn't. It was Wilf is in a wheelchair with Catherine Tate, right? So when they said it was Bonnie Langford with whatever her name is, Hebe, right? They said, oh look, because it must be wheelchair accessible now. The TARDIS. They get, and it was just a story whenever it was the dumbest story. Let's have a look at. Oh, this just came out, but I've listened to one story from the new 4th Doctor with the 9. Freaking awesome! That's an awesome one. I really enjoyed that story. Is there a trailer for this yet? Honestly, I like the Eric Roberts master. I like Eric Roberts, you know. I'm so not interested in the Colin Baker's this release. But, you know, the 5 Faces of Emancipation. Story details and cover art were released today for a brand new master box set of bewitching full cast audio dramas due for release in October 2022. Now, I think they've all been pretty good so far. In 3-hour-long episodes, forming a single epic audio movie. And that's kind of what the last one was like as well. The story is kind of throwaway. This one looks a bit better. The movie master, Eric Robert, plays a dastardly return using the technology aboard a time-traveling ship. So it just happens that his nemesis, Vienna Salvatore, Chase Marston, was pretty good. I've got most of the Vienna box sets. I didn't bother with the last one. I was like, I'll wait till it's given away, like, you know, on a cheaper sale, right? Where'd they go? There you go. Sorry, was that open? So Master Nemesis Express is now available. Blah blah blah. I'll just get on download. Also joining us is Michelle Asante, Top Boy and Doctor Who. Okay. Justin Salinger, Hannah, Ray, and Liz. Never heard of it. Anna Sava, The Durrells and Casualty. Okay. And Esmond Cole. Step aboard the Kestra. So recreating a recreational cruiser which transverses the time vortex itself. Interesting idea. Vienna Salvatore is on a mission and must make her way. So she's kind of like a kick-ass gumshoe assassin, sexy assassin, right? And I like being sexy as part of her personality because I think listen, she's reasonably sexy. I mean, she was when that picture was taken many years ago. God bless her. I mean, to have the behind the scenes, we'll look at the thing. She was super sexy in Deep Space Nine. So she's there from the. She must make her way up the Serpentine vehicle from the crime-ridden segments through the enclosed compartments to the mega rich, all the way to the front of the ship to face the man who controls it, the Master. 3 explosive adventures are Nemesis Express by Robert Whitlock. He's quite good, I think. Hang on. So let's have a look, see what he's done. And Elizabeth, okay, I always got to remember there's two Elizabeths. There's Elizabeth Miles and Elizabeth Hopley. Elizabeth Miles is a good one, right? Elizabeth Hopley, I remember because I just wrote Elizabeth Hopeless. Kind of is. So there's nothing jumping out here. I go, oh yeah, this is great stuff. I don't know. Maybe he's a new writer. I've seen his name around. Although last few times they had new writers, it's been pretty good, right? They've really upped their game this year. I mean, is it enough? I don't know. I really don't know. So now it's Vienna Salvatore boards the Carrots in search of a stolen gem, and a young thief Passion is hiding out and feels like the ship itself is watching her. Both women are about to be thrown together, and it's no accident. For the ship's vortex drive has brought the Master back from oblivion, and he has plans for both of them. I like it already, right? They do this with this Master as well. They always like start and leave him floating in the vortex, right? So this is like I like he keeps like trying to grab onto things for life. So and he's very sly once he does get back, right? In the other box sets he's done. Capture the Chronivore by Elizabeth Miles. Now Elizabeth Miles is the good one. Let me just double check. And Robert Valentine isn't bad. Elizabeth Miles is probably the best one in there. So let's have a look. 8th of March. Don't hold that against her. Okay, yeah, she did good in both of these stories, Self-Defense and The Outlaws. What else is it? The River Song one, she was good. Wait, is she the good one or the bad? 1 second. Let's look at Self-Defense. Maybe she's the bad one. God help us. Yes, She's a good one. Boundaries. That was a good story. Oh, that is a relief, right? That is a relief. That was actually a very good story. Yeah, she's a solid writer. So Vienna and Passion pursue the master, but to find out what he's up to, they must find their way through the ship's classier compartments. So it sounds like he's like separate from them, which probably means, I mean, I figure they would be recording people who are in Hollywood with him, right? But it sounds like he's just recording from his house. So I don't know. I have somebody come in and set up I guess we'll find out in the making of. With their weapons confiscated and champagne on ice, they're invited to join the exclusive shooting party, hunting the Vortex greatest games. Chronoballs, that's kind of fun. And the Master's most definitely dressed for the occasion. Okay. I'm excited. And Passion by Robert Valentine. Finally reaching the head of the ship, Vienna and Passion find themselves exactly where the Master wants them. The Time Lord has more than revenge on his mind, however. They can't stop him. Nothing in the universe will. So everyone says, I love playing bad guys just because they're so unforgiving, and the Master is the most unforgiving guy I've ever played. He's a lot of fun, right? He can't help himself. Being a villain is the most fun. He plays the Master with the kind of bored fun. I like that, right? This is my favorite Doctor Who related script because it's very precise and each character is very different. Oh, that's good to know. The second box set I've done with Chase Marsden, she's a fantastic human, fantastic actor, and she's fun to hang with. I bet they are. I bet there's a lot of weed in that green room, right? I bet there's a lot of very high quality weed in that green room. Chase added, Eric is the greatest. I do like Eric Roberts, right? I think he's a very smooth master. I like him in general. It's been so much fun being back as Vienna. I think the fans are in store with a super fun, a rollicking fun ride. Yeah, I'm sold. I'm buying this. It's been a fantastic journey playing Vienna. The fandom is lovely and very enthusiastic. Well, listen, as you get older, you want somebody to lust after you, and you do the trick. So let's have a look. Let's go look at the. Do you have a trade or anything? No. Yeah, backstage. See backstage. Man, she's really in her sparkly dress. Look at that. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Look. She reminds me of in Watchmen. You had this aging superhero played by the insanely gorgeous Gina Carano. Just insanely gorgeous. Here, let's have a look. See what other Eric Roberts top. Well, here, no, Master. What is it going? How do we get to the Master? Special releases. Here, let's go click Eric Roberts. So he's done Masterful. Oh yeah, he will cameoed in Ravenous 4 and River Song. Master was good, but here, this wasn't bad. Is there a video? Yeah, look, there's a video we can watch. Okay, we want to hear Eric Roberts be the Master, for God's sake.
I am the Master.
That was it. Like, why wouldn't you put more of it? That's ridiculous. Hang on, how long is this one? Listen. That was ridiculous. They didn't have it all through that. That is with that like golden silky voice, like
Looming through the flames with his serpent's eyes and cruel smile, the haunter of my dreams approaches, as I knew he always would.
My poor dear child, you really should never have meddled with things you don't understand.
yeah. Oh, I remember that. So that's basically how it ended, right? And I do like his take on the master. It feels like the master. They want 30 bloody hell. Downloads $20. That's ridiculous. Again, when did this come out? This businessman. I mean, I guess it's working for him. All right. Okay. So yeah, this is something I would totally be into. Haven't started listening to this yet. Let's have a look, see what's coming up next month. July. Here we go. And then we'll get to Star Trek. Oh yeah, Beyond the War Games. Up for that. This is too long and too expensive. Not interested. And these are always fun. Well, again, thank God it's a light month. Oh, we got a trailer. I think I listened to the trailer last time, didn't I? Now, I'll see if I recognize it. I don't think I did hear this trailer before.
From Big Finish Productions, Doctor Who, classic doctors, new monsters, the stuff of nightmares.
Where's Francesca?
In the attic, I believe.
Don't tell me she's looking for our ghost as well.
Well, pay our respects and we'll...
Hang on. There's a house down there.
I am the owner of this humble abode, the Hawks of Balhoon.
But this is no mere park hut. There's something else here with us. All things have their time.
Yet surely our ghost proves otherwise.
Yeah, I quite like the Tim Trelaw Third Doctor. He sounds the least like the Third Doctor I've ever heard him sound. Yeah, in this trailer.
Where will they have taken my other friend?
The Gad, somewhere they owns an estate. That Tivoli. Tivoli?
Not your Tivoli, Timble.
Ah, you cringing rodent! Let me out!
We're going to rescue Phoebe.
We? Doctor, I'm an accountant, not a commando.
Timble Phoebus, you may be an accountant, but I am the doctor.
Oh, that's the one of those like the race of coward aliens.
The archipelago of high dream.
Oh my, it's beautiful.
Monks collect the shells of river crabs and carve them into wind chimes. Now listen to me, Mari Yoshida. You're in the most terrible danger.
Seriously?
Your real life is draining away. You're being eaten alive by a predator.
What if I told you I'd seen the hunters in the dark?
Oh, never just drift off. Let them carry you away.
This sounds pretty good, right? This actually sounds like it's pretty good.
At last, the stone passage ends.
Oh, thank goodness for that.
You emerge into the center.
And what do I find?
Bones.
Oh, it's Charlie. Wow. I would have Eighth Doctor and Charlie. They were so dumb to continue with that TARDIS team with the Eighth Doctor after Stranded. They were just dumb.
Please. Things beginning with B.
Nice.
Who could be responsible for all the death and the dying?
Why do I have the feeling that you're about to tell me?
Don't you know anything about stories, Charlie? You don't tell, you show.
Yeah, it sounds pretty good. Oh god, that sting is awful though. Tim Foley, Robert Ballantyne, Roy Gill, and John Dorney from Surrey and Jacqueline Rayner. Oh, that's a good pedigree. Man, there was this story that I just finished listening to. Where is it? Dreams of Avarice. Really freaking good. Like, really, really, really good. It's the Fourth Doctor versus the Nine. And he's a really good villain, right? So basically, he's an insane kleptomaniac that will destroy the universe to get unique, beautiful things, right? So this is a real recommend. I haven't listened to the second story yet, but I think I'm going to go to the Cersei McCoy one next. Fine. With that, let's get to this. It deserves a Star Trek theme tune because it has earned it. This has earned Star Trekiness by being Star Trekky. Now, what I like about this episode is it had a bit of balls to do something interesting that shocked me, moved me. Second week in running, it actually moved me because I care about these characters because they've invested time with me. Apart from Lieutenant Latinx lesbian, right? I care about those characters. And that's why. So this episode, I like it because it was done on the cheap. It was just they had like one set, I think. I mean, they used all the standing sets, and then they had a little bit of exterior, or like a Planet Hell sort of thing. It didn't seem like an expensive one, but really good. Derivative of Aliens in a good way. Good tension. Good. This again. Now I'm positively disposed to this thing. I'm open to seeing it. Right. So it starts off. We Star Trekky. We are Star Trek. Forget all the other shit. This is Star Trek. Zhush. Whoa. You want to get super high? You watch this. It might make it better. Can't guarantee it. Sort of can. Look at those colors. Yeah, I watch it in 4K. So it starts off, and I've gotten to like this crew. Right, we're at a party with delicacies made by Pike. I like that he's a good cook. Right, it's one of his things, and I like his style of command. It took me a while to get used to it, but he has this very relaxed yet authoritative style of command. He isn't. He has absolute authority, but he's not. He's not. What's the word? Not self-conscious. You know, he's not. He doesn't have a huge ego because he knows he's great, right? But anyway, they're having a party for the two ensigns that are finished. The two ensigns are Uhuru and one we haven't seen before, right? And so the big party, and he gives a speech saying we've been through death and life together, right? Her and Uhuru. So they have an interesting monologue from Uhuru at the beginning, and I like this is a very subtle way this episode goes from the beginning to the end and takes a character on a journey, and it's a journey I like, right? It's a journey that tells me more about this show, more about this character, right? In a really deep way. So her journey is that where she is right now is everybody on the ship has worked hard and strived to get there. Like it's been their life's dream to get on the Enterprise, right? And they've worked together. It happens to be a genius. Now, at first I went, oh, what a Mary Sue when she was introduced, but they actually suddenly references that, oh, you are good at everything, right? And this is the thing. So her whole family was killed in a shuttle accident, and then she was just given the scholarship to Starfleet because she's this incredible linguist, but she's very good at everything, which is kind of her character. And it's not in a boring Mary Sue way, right? It actually, because she doesn't have a sense of entitlement, which I really like, which you get with Michael Burnham, right? She has a sense of somewhat embarrassment about her abilities, which I find interesting, because so she doesn't know where she is in life, right? she could stay there. Oh, no, now she's finished her rotation. She could go back to Kenya. She could basically do whatever she wants, right? She's really and everybody else's struggles will be there, but she's feeling a real lack of life direction, right? Which came out when she had a rotation in engineering with the chief engineer, who I really like that character, right? I think is a great character. One of the A&R, right? So they give and then they go to Lieutenant, whatever name, he gets his stripes and he becomes a lieutenant, enters into a lieutenant. And you get a feeling of like community on this ship. And I like it, right? You had that with Next Generation. Like, I liked in Next Generation. On the off days, they were like, practicing a play with Dr. Crusher, right? Or in the band or in this. I like that it has like, and it feels like they're fleshed out, and just feels like this character is Orville, right? And so he's saying, "Listen, Starfleet could really use you. You'll be great here." And but basically, it's like he says, "Listen, whatever you decide, you'll always have a place in Enterprise, right?" So then he gets a priority 1 communication about saying, and again, this scene I freaking love, right? This scene I love. So it's after the party, right? And they're cleaning up, right? And they're discussing the mission they were giving, the upcoming mission. Which is essentially a Enterprise-like ship has gone, smaller one, I think, has gone down, and they have to go in this planet that you can't beam down to or communicate out of, and they have to like go and rescue. But they're on their way to Space Station K7 from Trouble with Tribbles to give them batteries, so they can't really stop off there. So they're discussing what they're doing. Again, they're cleaning up after the party, and he puts the apron on Spock, and he's like, "You clean my suit." Well, of course, Captain. And I like the reality of it, right? So they come in, they have a little sample plate, and they're like, "Oh, you've got to try this, and you got to try that." And the doc's like, "You got to try it," and she's like, "That is insane, right? That's insane." And she's like, "Pass me the Parmesan." So they're trying to work out what to do. So she says, "Well, we should send a landing party down in a couple of shuttlecrafts to effect repairs. We don't know if they're alive or not, but that's what we should do. And then while the Enterprise goes and drops the batteries off, then pick them up on the way out, right?" And they talk about the food a bit, right? But again, it doesn't seem to be like SJW way, right? And I like Pike's developing into his own character, right? You don't see K7. You don't see, unfortunately. You want to see K7, watch More Trials, More Tribulations. That is the best version of K7, right? Probably made a tried Tribbles, yeah. So then, again, I like the visual. I will admit, one of the things that got me on board with the show was the visual of it, right? Which is very superficial, but I like it. So I like this, like, shuttles going through. It feels like Aliens. It's like beat for beat freaking Aliens, right? So they're going through this like choppy atmosphere to get to the crash ship, right? They don't have that, and again, visually, I didn't get any screen capture, but you see like the nacelles of this crash ship, like the dark red like circling in there. I like that a lot, right? I like that a lot. So they go out. This is all on a set. This is on Planet Hell. They got there, and again, the engineer. Basically, the whole bridge crew goes, and the other ones just drop off the batteries, right? And the A&R's like, "I love this weather. This is awesome." And they're looking at it. "Oh, we got to go all this way to. We've got about 2 3 mile walk to find the ship. See how many people there left there." And then they find like a bunch of dead people, right? Okay. And then you're into the titles, and again, visuals. It's so good. Oh, the warm glimmer of the impulse engine done realized so beautifully. Again, I'm watching this on 4K. It's fucking gorgeous. Oh. Look at that. I mean, it is awesome. Right? Then the theme music is boring as hell. But generally speaking, love this. Absolutely love it to bits. Star Trek, Strange New World. Wait. There we go. So then everything inside the ship, they're breaking in. It's freezing outside. There's an ice storm coming. They only got 6 out. Then they're going to be trapped there. So they're like turning things on. And again, very Aliens vibe, right? It kind of beat for beat Aliens as they go to the colony. And there's blood everywhere, and a lot of people have been killed. And they kind of split up. They got everything's been rerouted to engineering. So they got to go there, and the basically was this. Split up. By the way, and they had George Kirk's in it. He's developing a character. He's basically like was it Sam Rockwell's character from Galaxy Quest? Basically who he's taking on now. Or like, no, he's Ernie Hudson in Aliens, okay? If this man, basically what he is, then they find something, and it's not good news. It's not good news. Lots of dead people, right? So they get the captain's log. It turns out they picked up an Orion, a girl, and another alien, and the Orion had was infected with Gorn eggs, right? And he tried to blow himself up in the reactor core, but I don't think that worked out. Anyway, so the ship crashed, and then they had Gorn eggs hatched, and was not good, right? It was not good. And so she's got this backstory with the Gorn that they're, she was captured by them, and it's like she's amazed to still be alive. And so she's got this big PTSD with Gorn. And I like that they're building up Gorn, right? So they're working out what's going on. And I like that they're trapped there as well, right? And, dead people everywhere, and they're kind of shitting themselves, which I like. Kind of works. So they hear something moving around, and they go over there and they find this alien, right? And does speak, and the universal translator doesn't want to, right? And so Uhura, you translate. So that's not how it works. They said, so it's they said, wait a minute, there are two life signs, an alien and somebody else. Must be that she might be protected on it. So he tells us to lower their guns. And again, I like that Pike does that, and he doesn't seem like a pussy to me because he does that. And there's a girl there that she's protecting, right? The new lieutenant, right, has hurt himself. He asked for like a med kit, right? Because he doesn't want to go because he feels stupid because he's a lieutenant. I didn't really understand it, but I was just mesmerized by Nurse Chapel, as is right and proper. How you wouldn't be mesmerized by Nurse Chapel is a bit weird. Anyway, so he has to go down there. They're trying to get the thing open, and again, they're talking about life a lot, which is a good combination. This character is really great. Last week's episode, right, when he does that little dance to hit the energize, kind of made me like him much more, right? It shouldn't have done, but I liked his performance with that. They're checking them out in the sick bay. They're getting some power going, and she's like interrogating the kids. Why did you tell us about the Gorn? We need to know about the Gorn. Why are you hiding them? And they're like, back off, right? Back off, weirdo. And he's like, listen, this is what we got to do, stay alive. Gorn eggs are nothing to joke about, apparently, right? These are bad news. Meanwhile, Spock's over there looking, and again, I like this is all done on standing sets, right? It's the cheap-ass episode, right? But just a bit of ketchup, and you get like a nice bit of tension. And I like that they're innovating on a budget. That's normally where you get good storytelling, right? And it really is, right? You got it in the original series, you're getting here. So for me, it's working. So this alien's like breathing heavy, like getting a fever, and she's got this weird gooey blood, and they're trying to work out what's going on with them. And the kid's like, shit, she's gonna blow, right? So she goes to hide and then she starts, like basically alien, and she blows up, and all these four mini tiny little scary Gorn babies come out, like, right? And they're like, yeah, that's how, and they move. They're about this big, and they move super fast. And so she gets into a medical thing, full shield. Meanwhile, he's getting himself fixed, and they're talking about like human emotions, about why he wouldn't go. He said, I don't want to make a fool of myself. And so then at the top of the, you see it coming down the Jeffries tube to him, and they go, look out, and the thing just eats his face off, like, right? And drags him away, right? They go firing after him. And you see, and Spock I didn't get a screen grab, but Scott's got his blood on his hands. He's like freaked out, right? So she's calling for the girl, trying to find out where the girl is. And she sneaks out. Again, she's not just hot, and she's hot, right? I like this character. I like her performance. It's really a genuinely, I feel like her, like she's not military, but I feel like she's brave, right? And it worked. It feels like an authentic performance. So she's trying to find the kid, and then in walks the security chief, and she's like, they're shitting themselves, quite rightly so. So they're looking. Funny thing is, won't probably. So she convinces her to take a gun with her and come with her. And they go and find the girl, and they said, this will happen last time. They managed to like lure them out of the ship, and they said they didn't come back, and now they come back. So she's reasonably apprehensive. Meanwhile, they get the main power working, and they kind of like they send out and say, okay, everybody regroup in medical, right? In sick bay. And then in the reactor they meet the Alpha Gorn, which is like, okay, this is clearly in its own universe. This is not the Gorn even from Deep Space Nine, right? That was Into a Mirror Darkly. Hang on one second. Not Deep. Was it Deep Space Nine? No, Enterprise. One second. Enterprise Gorn. Let's see. Enterprise Gorn. Hang on. Try that again. Is it? It says it autocorrect to a word I don't even understand. Enterprise Gorn. Okay. So we can find some pictures of it. Because it's nothing like this, right? It's nothing like this. Is this it? I think this is it. Yeah, this is the Enterprise Gorn. One second, let me pull that picture. Hang on. Ugh. Didn't mean to do that. Oh, now it just attached to a different file. Really? Hey, it looks nothing like the one from Enterprise, right? Nothing like the one from Enterprise at all. Hang on. Try that again. This is being more trouble than it's bloody worth. So this looks like, well, I'm about to show it to you when it comes in. This looks like an attempt to recreate something similar to the original set. Here we go. Yeah. This looks like an attempt to recreate something similar to the original series, right? So this is, hang on. Where is it? Yeah. So this is in the mirror, like the mirror episode, Into a Mirror Darkly in Enterprise. Okay, that's in the same ballpark as a Gorn, right? This is like totally bloody different, right? And I'm fine with it being totally different. I'm fine with it being different. And so he spits at the engineer, and he's and then the security chief shows up and fires at it, and they like, get out, everybody, run away, and they go and regroup, right? And they can't even sense these things. They hide from the sensors. So George Kirk gives Spock a hard time for he's freaking out, essentially. Gives Spock a hard time for not freaking out about the lieutenant who was killed. And he's like, calm down. He's like, you pointy head freak. Can't calm down. Everybody calm down. And they're like, so they work out the Gorners don't like cold, so they can use the environment controls of the ship to force them into a corridor, right? So now we move from Aliens to Alien 3, and it's quite a good... From here on, it's Alien 3, which I quite like that movie, quite frankly, right? I quite like that movie. So they go to the bridge, and they to basically, set their trap. A second. Doink. Oh. There you go. So yeah, they're in cargo. They're basically going to force them into cargo bay, and they're going to get these like teeny tiny terrifying Gorn to chase them, right? And so Uhura goes first, fires at them, and he comes chasing after them. And they're going to fight for the alpha male, right? Once they kill each other until one survives, and then she just gets back, and they have the cold down. So next is Spock, and Spock needs to tap into his anger, right? Tap into his anger about to be able to confront this thing, right? And so he remembers the lieutenant being killed, and I was powerless, and he like taps into his anger. He's like, ah, about that. And he like loses the shit, right? And he just gets pulled back in time, and you see he's about to take other people's heads off. So, and then it's her turn next. They get ready, and so she gets it to chase him. It's good action chase sequence, right? Chases them down the corridor. You see how like everything moves like grease lightning. Can see them better than you can see them. She managed to get in this thing as it like the chaser starts like trying to eat her, right? She's like, ah! And then they douse it with, again, Alien 3. It's 100%. They douse it with like liquid mercury or something until it's dead, right? And she climbs out and she like smashes it. Ah! Well, you really, nobody ever seen a Gorn. Maybe they should have just kept that, preserved it. Maybe it would have helped them. No, not really. So then they can't get back in, and we get this whole other finale, right? It turns out he knows he's been infected by Gorn eggs, right? So he's locked everybody out. And he's like, I've got to kill myself. Otherwise, there's going to be more come out. And they're like, no. And he gives a dying message to, well, first, this was great. Live long and prosper, Spock, right? And it really gets to him, right? And then he speaks to Uhura, says, if you can find yourself a family, you're going to just find it. The better times are better than the worst times. Find yourself a group of people. You're going to find yourself that your better times are there's more joy than not. And this was a really emotional bit. I didn't think they were going to kill him, right? I thought they're going to find some way, like because he likes the outdoors, maybe, and they don't like the cold. He'll go outside and he'll kill these things. And he goes outside and he fills the air. And again, I really like this character, right? And then he falls out. It's like, well, I'm like, what the hell? They just killed him. Okay, that just happened. Right, and I'm really surprised. I think that was a ballsy move. It was a solid character. They need a new engineer now. They put effort into building that character up, and it didn't feel like it was a throwaway execution. It felt like it really, really worked. Right, it felt like it mattered because they built up the bloody character. Right, and they got in a tractor beam, and then because it's so not like him, you get to see his funeral, and then you got to get scene with Lieutenant Latinx lesbian. Just piss off, leave me alone. So the arc with Uhura is he was trying to get her to pick a direction, pick something that she wants to like. His raison d'etre in life was to fix things, to make things better, to fix things, right? And he was after her to find her raison d'etre. Now, Spock, meanwhile, is having this like emotional meltdown, right? This completely emotional meltdown. And she sees like he's got this burning rage. She follows him out. And said, "Don't stay with me." I'm like, I can't do it. And so basically what happened is he's like, my mind is weak. Says, no, it's not. You're part human. This is normal. You've got to experience this, right? And I like we're at the evolution of Spock. This feels so different from when he was in Discovery, and it was just like using an identity to sell something. This actually feels like it's working towards him, and it doesn't need Michael Burnham to make him into the person he is. Right? It's about his journey, and I like this. It's clever. right? And they've had this like relationship with Nurse Chapman. I like their relationship as well. That's wrong. And she's like, this is normal. And they hug. And it's really, it's a tender moment, right? And they got like, this attraction going on. Meanwhile, he talks. So she says, listen, I need to leave of absence. The kid. So this actually feels like the season finale, quite frankly. I'm surprised there's another episode. So the kid that they rescued, she's got a lead on who her parents is. She wants a leave of absence to go and track down her parents. She knows how, if she can find people, it's going to make it easier for her. And so I think she's just going off in a shuttlecraft with the kid. I guess it's her own different series now. Okay, like Lone Wolf and Club. And she says, thanks him. So I love where this ends, right? This all about her trying to find a place, trying to find a journey, trying to find what her mission is in life, right? And she comes out and she looks at the communications, right? And I love this, right? Being able to connect to people, to communicate to people, to bring people together, to understand each other. This is her mission in life, right? She could do anything. This character could, and genuinely a talented character who could do anything. She's trying to decide what she wants her life to be, and she wants her life to be facilitating communication, right? To bring people together. That I really think, and it was great because it wasn't stated, right? It was subtle. It was really, really subtle. And it was just a look, and it really worked. It really, really worked. So I give this one a big thumbs up. A big thumbs up. A strong recommend. I'm rewatching this series. I like it a lot, right? I do like it a lot. Fine. With that, I'm going to wrap up. I'm somewhat peckish. I would like some dinner. That's basically where I am. Is Dan on later tonight? I'm too busy to look at the YouTube. Hang on. Let me just look at the subscriptions and if it is, yeah, here we go. Yeah, I'll share the screen. Then I'll share the link. But yeah, I'm very impressed. I really am. I try and be honest. I really do try and be honest. I would much rather like the Orville, right? I would much rather like the Orville. But this is just really working. It's clean up time. When I'm busting all the Doctor News and rumors. I wonder what he's got to talk about. I'm intrigued. Color me intrigued. Fine. Thank you for joining me today. I put the link there in the chat. Thank to my friend Andrew for joining us. Hopefully he'll join us again. I didn't want to be a dick with him, right? And he lives in Crazy Town. He lives in Crazy Town is the problem, right? I think he could be a force for good, right? I think he can be a force for... most people don't agree with these positions once you just talk them out for a few minutes, right? Talk about it from the other side, right? Listen, I wish there was a podcast over there that I could go and talk to people. But he might be good at it. Fine with that.